Hey, my babies. Come on in. Give yourself a time to come on in. Give yourself a time to come on in. Hey, my babies. Oops.
Bible, Book Baby, and Amazon. Probably one of
Love
the best books you
life.
might ever get in
Don't
regards to
forget to
romance and
check out
passion.
the
We have 60
conversation with
affirmations. This
King.
book, and I'm
That's
not
his name.
bragging, but it's the Bible relationships and the Rosetta Stone of romance. Thank you. Please get it. Also, those who don't, who haven't, please join the membership King's Court for exclusive content and perks. Please, there's going to be a lot of perks now. Just join it right now. We got monetization in November, late November. So I just got monetized. So what happens is we're going to start putting some exclusive content. I know the year's almost over, so rest assured I'm going to make it up if I don't drop any content this month, but I should be dropping something. Last but not least, I don't want to rush into things. I'm so glad everybody's coming to the room. Wow, this is what I'm talking about, Garden. Thank you for showing love.
You're welcome.
Merchandise. Guess what, guys? So I want to always say, you know what? I remember when subscribers. That's crazy. I want to be part of your greatness. I want to have some type of equity in your greatness, and I appreciate y'all. So I'm not doing it because I'm nice. I am a capitalist, according to everybody else. Everybody says I'm a capitalist, so we're gonna keep that vibe. Also,
So let's say you have to read an incredibly
Kingdom, Alfie Kingdom, Bay Area, shout out to you. Shout out to J Ride. But we also want to talk about something else too. I'm a person, I'm a dog. I'm a big dog. Everybody does what I say, how I say, when I say. But the reason I became a Don is because I listen to everyone and I respect everyone, and I think everybody else is a Don until you cross me. Nikki, the glow code, is a Don. So when she told me, she says, "Hey, listen, stop using the word term sexual deviance. That's a negative term that could be used or conveyed to mean something else." So I want to correct everybody. It's documented. It's because I listen to other dons. When I say deviance, I mean I am not of the norm sexually. That means missionary position, regular stuff. Doesn't mean any type of pedophilia or any type of molestation, but deviance, sexual deviance.
He
And I'm
means
glad
adventurous.
adventurous. Thank you. So with that being said, you need people around you. And I scout and recruit new talent, and you need people around you who you feel that you can trust and respect. And these two ladies are people I feel like I can trust and respect to take their opinions to make my brand and myself a better person. So just remember that when you hear me say that, it's documented. This is what I mean. So I want to say thank you to Nikki for that. And this is what happens. You can't win if you don't have a team of strong, independent women,
Women.
which might lead us to
Strong women.
the topic at hand. Right. So the topic at hand, who wants to lead? You want me to lead off? Let me lead it off. So the topic at hand is essentially the empowered approach to the red pill community, right? The red pill politics, right? And when we talk
And
about politics, we talk about, you know, the
shooting the
systems in
breeze.
place that deal
Bunch of
with
bullshit.
policies or rules or standards that people have to abide by. Today, we're not going to justify what they do, but we're going to come to understand of what they do and how they got there. And if you see any red pill people in the garden, please tell them to come up so we can all have this intelligent, respectful conversation. Because you know one thing, I don't care what you say to the rocks, which is the man in the room, but if you talk to the flowers anyway disrespectfully, I'm not going to kick you off the stage. I'm just going to bark on you, and then they could go anywhere you want to go after that. And you know, I'm not saying I'm the toughest guy. I'm just saying you're not tougher than me. That's what I'm saying. I'm not the toughest guy, but you're definitely not tougher than me. I promise you that. So with that being said, and plus because I know what it is to go to war, and I know I'm in the right. I can't lose. You feel me? But that's why I'm not a bully. I'm not a bully. But if you pick on me, I'm going to keep on going after you. I promise you. If you pick on anybody, the flowers, I'm going after you. Shout out to Natalie. Shout out to Miss Mary. Appreciate you. Salute to the strong, independent woman. Yes, Terry. Korean cutie. What else? We have. Oh, I don't want to put that. That's a personal conversation. All right, 35. So, ladies, as we wait for more people to come in to the room, shout out to Chris, Big Rock. What's going on? Wait for come in the room. Can you give us a definition, or for those who know, what is the red pill? I had a girl today ask me, what the hell is a red pill? And I said, I don't know. So what is a red pill? I didn't know, but I didn't want to explain to them. Can you tell everybody what the red pill is? So give them context before we dive into this.
You want to take that?
Sure. And I could be wrong, y'all. So let me just say this.
Oh,
Reading out of the dictionary.
I'm sorry. I said what's up to you, Cheryl. I said it earlier.
I did too, Cheryl.
Yeah, everybody know you're the Prince of the Garden. Stop playing. All right, I'm sorry. I've leveled.
Okay, so my perspective, my interpretation of red pill, it seems as if it is a sector of the manosphere. So red pill people can be men or women, and they are individuals that believe in the power of the male voice and the power of the male presence, and then kind of setting the tone when it comes to life, dating, and everything that kind of encompasses that. They seem like they're the type of people who may or may not want relationships, but if they do want relationships, they've got to be in some way. A lot of red pill community people I've heard kind of aren't really so much into relationships. They're kind of into other things, or maybe not committing to the opposite sex. A great deal that I've heard, I would consider not negative, but just like not the most positive or empowered. So that's why I'm super glad that we are actually having this conversation, because there are some things in the red pill that I've heard that can be applicable to the way men and women interact. I do think that it needs a different perspective. So I'm happy Nikki and I are able to kind of come on and share some of our expertise and some of our opinions about it.
And also, just to add a little more context, I think the red pill is like a reference to the Matrix, where Neo is given the choice between the red pill and the blue pill, meaning if you take the red pill, your life will never be the same and you will come into the truth and wake up and come out of the Matrix. You take the blue pill, you'll fall back to sleep, be in the Matrix, and just live this kind of life in the Matrix that's not real life. So these red pill community people, I guess it's the idea of like, we've woken up from the past where we would pedestalize women and where we thought women were the prize. We've woken up to the truth that we are the prize and we are the ones that should be on the pedestal, and you are the ones that have to compete for us. It's kind of like the back story.
Whoa. So that was the most accurate description of the red pill. So now, can I be Mr. Pushback?
Of course.
Based on the context? Okay, so here it goes. Based on, particularly within the Black community, even though they say that the red pill started with a white man, right? But particularly the Black community, don't they have a valid point because of the lack of qualified men in the community? They are the prize if they're high value men.
I want to show you how to find property for
Dissect the word prize though, because are you saying they're the prize because they are less in quantity, or are they the prize because they're greater in quality? You have to. How are we going to measure that?
Well, I'm coming from the point of quantity meaning that because it's not enough qualified men, so we know scarcity increases value. Because there's not enough of them, whoever's left becomes more valuable. So they have options now. Where if they weren't valuable, then if there were plenty of them, then they wouldn't be valuable, right? Before, back in the days, there was assumption that to find a good woman is precious, right? But now it's like to find a good husband is almost nearly impossible now.
Can I push back on that?
Of course, just we're going back and forth.
Okay, let the red pill community tell it ain't no good women out here. Like, on the one hand, they say that there's, specifically with regard to the Black community, that there are 2 million or so more Black women than Black men.
Right.
But then out of the same mouth, they'll say they can't find not a good one. So I don't understand. If there are all these women out here, how are you saying that you just cannot find a woman who's only out for your pockets or who weighs less than 300 pounds? Like, I don't know where you're looking. I often am not. I'm like, who are these women and where are you finding them? Because in my circle, we're not having those problems. I mean, I am single, but you know, I don't think it's because I'm hideous or manly or masculine.
But you're single because you're very meticulous and you have a particular person you want to spend your life with.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they become the prize now.
No, I mean,
I think y'all hung up on the word prize. They become the intended target. Like, we can play semantics, but technically that is the prize, because if there's not enough men to supply the amount of qualified Black women out here, what does that mean? And I'm playing devil's advocate, so don't beat me up. I'm just saying, like, what does that mean? Because here's for example, how many of your friends you have, your top 10 friends, how many of them are married?
most of my friends are married.
How many, out of 10, your top 10 friends, most of them are married.
Mm-hmm.
So give me a number. 6?
You funny, James.
I would say probably closer to 7 or 8.
And when did they get married?
Either like fresh out of college or grad school. I mean, you're right.
Right. So it's once a woman leaves those two, how can I say, breeding grounds for relationships, because people go to college to find a mate. They say you go to college to find out where you're going to live, where you're going to work, and who you're going to marry, right? Once they leave those two safety spots where everybody's on the same level, okay, we both get education, we don't know what's going to happen, it becomes difficult.
It becomes more difficult. Yeah.
It becomes more difficult, and this is when the men who are qualified and who have all the credentials that you desire, they get to have their pick, and they get to say, you know what, I want what I want. If you can't reciprocate what I bring, then you have no right to say how the relationship is going to go. But now you're dealing with the red pill politics, and I think more you are just mad because, or upset or disturbed by the language that they use to get their messages across. But I'm asking you, do you actually disagree with the core message of the red pill politics? Which is essentially is we want reciprocity, or we determine the market because we are the prize. That's really the core
You're right.
of the red pill community.
I'm here for reciprocity,
Yeah.
but that we determine the market because we are the prize. I'm not feeling that.
Why? Well, how are they not the prize?
Because you need both. Like, you can't build your family and your legacy without me.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's
The
like
relationship and the like you're saying, the outcome of the relationship, that's the prize, not one person, because you can't do it alone. I don't understand that.
I like that.
We need each
That's a good button. So the couple itself, the relationship is the prize. not the man or the woman. Because
Right.
before, when a woman was the prize,
Right.
I didn't have an issue
Right.
with that.
Right.
When a
Right.
woman was the prize, no one had an issue with that.
Not
This
really.
is what I'm trying to say. Now, of level professional, that was the best answer I heard ever, which was the couple is actually the actual prize, not the individual. But now it seems like the women are getting mad because we woke up, not we, but me pretend to be the red pill. We woke up and realized you're not the prize either. Now it's my turn to be the prize because the numbers favor me, right? Stats favor me. But then you're saying, you know
That's what makes the
All right,
woman
guys.
the prize
we
because
we,
there's
we,
too
we
many
did
to
it too
pick.
long.
And
We
if
don't
she
want you to
get
benefit
picked,
off of
she
this
feel like
whole
the prize.
technology,
Duh.
right? So guess what? We both could be the prize. That's what the real answer is. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Again, because the outcome, your legacy, your family, if you don't have a family, whatever it is that you produce together, your love, that to me is the prize, because that's something that you have to work together to accomplish. And I think collaboration is, or it's supposed to be, the point of the relationship. I do understand what you're saying, though, as far as women being positioned as the prize. I really think it's how we're socialized from like little girls. You know what I mean? And so as we get older and some of us are hearing some of that, we have like this visceral kind of intuitive kind of just feeling about hearing that, because that's what we're told our entire lives. So some of this too is us having to sit with how we've been socialized and looking at social norms and seeing which one of them are actually serving us to mate effectively and which ones are not. And I think that men and women should be doing that. But sometimes women, we haven't done it as much because we haven't really had to. So I think if anything, some of this red pill community thought process is kind of making us sit with a couple of things,
Right.
not doubting ourselves, but just having a different type of conversation with ourselves and with one another.
You know what's funny that you said that, and I'm still stuck on that perfect answer about us, the couple being a prize. If you really watch The Matrix, and I think Harrison Family Vlogs, who Glow and I are going to be on Sunday, he said something that was crazy. When Neo and Morpheus took the red pill, they actually increased emotional intelligence. They actually became in love with their lovers. Neo with Trinity and Morpheus with Jada. I forgot Jada's character, but they became
Niobe.
They actually became more in love or had more emotional intelligence. So technically, they're not even representing what the red pill meant in the movie, right? Technically, to have the red pill true knowledge or true awareness is becoming more emotional intelligent, and we know that women have more emotional intelligence than men. Period, right? But to embrace women and see their value is really taking the red pill. If you really want to go along with the Matrix, the movie, right? But to you ladies, do you despise the red pill policy because it doesn't benefit you? It's not advantageous for you to have men thinking like that? Because, like I said once before, when you were the prize, and when we had to throw our coats on a puddle of water and carry you over the puddle, open the doors, pull out the chairs, when it doesn't benefit you. Pushback.
No. I can just speak for myself. Being honest, like when I first started seeing it, I can admit there were some things that I could say, okay, there are some points, like even in my own life, like I could stand to skip a meal, okay? I might need to get on somebody's elliptical, but for me and for my own health, not because I'm trying to compete with somebody else for a man.
Right.
Yes, I have seen women in general, but I guess we were focusing on the Black community, being out of order, being just talking reckless, behaving reckless. As an attorney, I've seen my own clients, most of whom are male, having to deal with women who is like, I feel sorry for you, like who are holding their children hostage, who are not letting the father see the children, who are busting out windows, who are stalking the new girlfriend. Like, I see these things. These are not like, this happens. So I can honestly say, okay, y'all have a point with some of the behavior is really toxic and actually criminal and immoral, and it needs to stop.
Right.
I can lay that out and say I agree.
Okay.
However, it kind of crossed over from like, these are the things that are harming us that we need you to stop, and moved over into just kind of like, y'all are the worst, bashing, instead of like trying to fix the problem, just piling on to like make
Right.
yourself feel good by pushing somebody else down.
Right.
And I think
Right.
that's where
Right.
most of
Right.
us kind of draw the line of like, okay, now this is going too far. Now this is turning into something else. It's kind of like, you know, people in LA say, you know, the Bloods and Crips started out as like a community organization to help the people and to protect the community, but 40, 50, 60 years later, now it's metastasized into something unrecognizable from what it first started out as. So we can't pretend like we don't see the damage and the toxicity in the organization now, in an effort to have this romanticized view of what it started out as. And I think that kind of analogous to what's happened in the Red Pill community. Maybe it started with some actual points that could help us be better, but it's become something else entirely. And I think that's where we have the issue.
Okay. So you know, how do you feel about generalization? You get mad at the Red Pill for generalizing about women, particularly Black women, but don't you feel that you generalize about them as well? Because not everybody from the manosphere leans toward the Red Pill, which is the most extreme portion of the manosphere, allegedly, right?
Is it the most extreme? They have I can't think of the name of it, but it's some group that just like doesn't like women like at all, like hates them, like, doesn't want anything to do with them. Oh yeah, so it goes pretty deep. It's
right.
Really deep what's going on that.
But it's based off of generalization. So don't you feel you're generalizing about men? Anytime a man says, anytime a man is brave enough to say, I don't want to deal with a woman that looks like this, or I don't want to deal with a woman that acts like this, you already throw them into the Red Pill mentality.
No, if you don't want to deal with a woman that looks and acts like that, then don't. But then why do you got to go on the internet and make a 5-hour video about how specifically Black women are this, that, and the third, and not this, that, and the third, and how Mai Ling and Beijing and Maria and everybody else is so great, and you Black women better compete or y'all gonna be left behind. Y'all gonna be like, it's not constructive. It's at this point, it's not helping. Like, we got the memo, we got work to do. We understand. Can we move on to the next?
Okay, you got the memo.
It's not factual. I'm sorry, and it's not factual either, because you have men almost of all races saying that like, we have problems with our women too. They over here not acting right either. So it's more of like a cultural thing. It's more of a Western thing. It's more of a modern thing than it is like a Black thing. Now, of course, we're seeing it in the Black community. I know that there are certain things that we have going on that others don't. So like when our family structure isn't intact, it is going to affect us in a different way than other cultures. I get that too. But yes, Glow, I hate it when they're like, you know, you Black blank blanks are doing this and these other chicks aren't. And I'm just like, they're doing the same thing as well. And
it's almost like they want to instigate a girl fight. Like they want to see like girls. It's like, I don't think in my life, I haven't seen Black women walking around just looking at Mexican women or looking at Asian women, like staring, giving them the stink eye. Like nobody's doing that. Like if any competition needs to be going on, we each need to be in competition to each be our best selves, not in competition with anybody else.
Exactly. And then the whole thing too, like I'm only going to be concerned about the Black men
conversations with King.
Me.
I like
you know what I'm saying? Like
don't flag me.
I don't make it a habit to be in the business of other people who are just like, I am not interested. I have a type and you're not it. Cool. Let's go ahead and move on. But I feel that some people who are kind of also part of this community, like the divesting community, they like want us to care so bad. And we don't care. I'm like, do you? Because the stats are not on your side when you go outside of your race either. Like, I think one thing I see in the Red Pill that I really wish we could reel in, like Glow said, you know, your competition is you being your best self. But I think there's a lot of work that people have to do, especially interpersonally. I've seen so many of these guys call in, like they call into Jen's show, they call into Tawana and, you know, other people, and they just talk and they talk about nothing. And someone asks them a question and they cannot answer it properly. And I'm just like, women don't like you because you're not an active listener and you can't communicate. It has nothing to do with any of this other stuff that you're saying it is. So I think sometimes people get very wound up in their outcomes And instead of changing what they're doing to get different outcomes, they just become more and more wound, and then they start pointing fingers and placing blame. And that's the part of it that I really, really don't like.
All right, so here's some stats. And I don't know if you want to get to numbers, because the red pill actually has stats that back up what they're saying in regards to Black women needing to change things if they want to compete for marriage. Once again, we talked about before that they play on the fear, allegedly. I don't know the red pill, so I'm just saying allegedly. I don't want them attacking me. Allegedly, they play on the fear of women wanting to be married and not getting old alone. But these statistics is true. Because if Black men don't marry Black women, more likely you won't get married. Why? Not because, no, why? Because it's not enough for us. And two, you Black women are loyal. A little bit too loyal to marry.
But we stopping that shit.
Gather round, children.
We stopping that shit.
It's only a little over 15% of Americans marry outside their race. This is stats.
But that's interesting too, because Black women, yes, we are loyal, but there are certain other racial groups to kind of pass down wealth and culture. They don't really marry outside of their race either. So I get a little bit confused because people are like, and I'm not saying that other people don't find us attractive. I think we're popular.
Right.
That's just my personal opinion.
Right.
But I also recognize that there are other communities, you know, and I don't want to generalize, but I'm going to say, like, generally, I don't think there's a large portion of the Asian community that marries non-Asian people, so on and so forth. So it gets a little hairy, and it does make me kind of wonder if that is the case, if the Black men are not marrying us, and other groups are marrying their women of their same ethnicity and culture, like what that's going to kind of look like.
All right, so let me just explain to you. In 2013, under the Pew Research Center, they did a little study, and this is probably a little bit outdated, 2013. It says the percentage of newlyweds in 2013 who marry someone of a different race. 7% of white men marry someone of a different race. 7% of white women marry someone of a different race. Now here we go to our numbers. This is why they telling Black women, the red pill, y'all need to chill out, because the numbers are not for you. They said 25% of, and this is 2013, it has increased since then. They said 25% of Black men marry out their race in 2013, and only 12% of Black women marry outside their race.
What are those divorce rates looking like?
They said newlyweds. I don't know, but they said the newlyweds. I'm only bringing those stats up.
I'm being facetious, but that I think can be a part of the conversation too, because that's the idea. They want to push us and be like, okay, you better do this, this, and this. Don't go to school. Be domestic. Sit at home and wash my drawers by hand, or I'm going to go marry somebody else. But are those marriages lasting? Because that's kind of the point too. So I'm not trying to put you on the spot with that. I'm just saying. Yeah,
but we need stats to back that up, because your uncle, not my uncle, he's my frat brother. That's your uncle, Kevin Samuel said. Your uncle Kevin Samuel said. He said that's not his problem to fix.
Well, listen.
And that's what the men are saying. They're saying, we're telling you, this is this is a general consensus of all men when we have these conversations. You are privy to be hearing these barbershop, locker room, cigar rooms conversations, and you still want to go against it. We're telling you,
hey Queen,
what
I like this
want.
conversation.
Now, I'm saying you.
Really
I said
nice.
we.
Okay.
These men, we're telling you we want this, and you still want to go against this. And your uncle, up-level professional Kevin Samuels, not mine. That's my frat brother. That's your uncle. Your uncle says that is not our problem. We state what we want to be changed, and if you don't want to change it, then you're not competitive anymore.
But who said we didn't want to change it? Some women are
the numbers,
the way we do things.
The numbers are saying it. The numbers.
And I
think it needs to be more of a conversation. Like when you come to it, like this is my demand that you need to change, and that's that, or you're not competitive, it's not my problem to fix. Do you really want to fix the problem if that's your approach? Like if you're in a conversation with someone and that's how they approach you with the issue, are they really interested in fixing the problem if that is their tone and approach? Is that really the most effective way to fix the problem, to come at somebody and say, this is my demand, you better fix you, I'm perfect, y'all got to fix you, and it's not my problem to fix? And I don't like the assertion outright or the insinuation that all the problems are with Black women and Black men. This percentage of us make more than such and such amount of money, so we good over here, ain't nothing for us to fix. Okay, you make this percentage of money, but are you emotionally intelligent? Are you honest? Are you a man of integrity? What is your character like? It's more than just I make this amount of money, therefore I fix all Black men's problems. No, y'all got some stuff y'all need to work on too. There's some brokenness in Black men that comes out in relationships that y'all need to work on too. We're coming out of a history. We all have things that we need to work on. So instead of us doing this tit for tat, oh, y'all spent 30 years telling us we weren't shit, now we about to spend the next 30 years telling you y'all ain't shit. That's not solving any problems. Can we come to the table and actually have like a sort of peace and reconciliation commission or something to come together and like fix the problem rather than just pointing fingers at one another?
I have pushback for that, friendly pushback. Listening that the numbers are saying Black men don't value marriage, and that's completely false. If you look at the numbers, most of the divorces are initiated by ladies.
What?
Ladies.
Where is he getting?
Hold on, let me finish. Ladies initiate, like 84% of divorces are initiated by ladies.
Where you getting this information from, boy?
Most men, they will tell you, a majority of men, it's a strong, not majority, it's a strong number of men who are not married or have children. It seems like, if you look at the stats, it seems like it's a small group of men that's populating everybody. And your uncle, upper level professional, Kevin Samuels, said that's the Pookie and Ray Rays that you allow in your life to impregnate you and make you less desirable for the men that you really deserve. And he's saying, this is what your uncle says. I'm being Kevin Samuels. He says it. He says, ladies, you need to lower your standards because the men that you want, you don't deserve. That's what Kevin says. The problem is the red pill think that, according to you, woman, you think the red pill, you're saying that all the red pill people think they're high value. Even Kevin tells you they're not. It's only a few of them that high value, and you need to lower your standards because you don't deserve those high value men. That's what Kevin says. You don't deserve the guy with the 6 figures, the leader in the community, because you went through this, you're this age, you have this amount of kids, you don't deserve him. Is he wrong for that?
Yes.
Okay. Wrong in essence. No, not necessarily. And I'll tell you why. Because whatever it is that you want to be in whatever you're searching for in a relationship, you've got to be some of those things. And I feel that there are some women who are looking for men. And I think now the popular thing is 6-figure earner. Like that's what's popular. But I don't think a lot of women know why they want that type of guy. I don't think a lot of women know how those types of men sometimes, let me do Jen, sometimes at all, how they tend to operate at times. And so I feel that like they just kind of don't know what they could be getting into. Now, as far as, what we qualify for, I mean, it's true. You do have to date people that are like-minded. You have to date people that are kind of within your level, your realm, people who you can kind of comfortably get along with. Because here's the thing, when you try to force and mold yourself into this person that's going to be on this level for this high value man, you can do it and you can get there, but is that sustainable for a lifetime? You know what I mean? So you have to kind of question some of that. You can do it, but like, is it worth it? Is that what you want to do? But I do think dating people of a like mind is not a bad thing. I don't think that that's it at all. And I think sometimes women need to really sit with what we want and why we want it, because some of the things that might really make us happy might not be done by that guy we think we want.
You know what's so funny? Of level profession, you cleaned it up so well. You know why you cleaned it up so well? Because I remember the first time you were on the show, you talked about, yes, money is very important in a relationship.
It is.
They
And-
want you to drop the StreamYard, Kings. I guess some people want.
Okay, I'm gonna drop it right now.
It is important.
I'm
Very.
sorry. I apologize. I just want to make sure y'all get the shine and
Yeah,
talk.
he's
And like,
trying to call me out.
I want everybody to hear your opinions first. And people are not donating and cashing me out right now, so they could.
So he said
That's
he's
the way
not
right
dropping
there.
them.
You feel me? I'm joking. I got y'all. So what happened is, we have to be a little bit careful because you say you want men. These men, high value men, they need more than this money to rule your world or to be the part of your life. But that's a lie. If you look at statistics. Statistics say the reason for divorces is not infidelity. The number one reason for divorces starts with an F. Can anybody tell me?
Finance.
I almost said the other
So
F word, y'all.
how can you tell me you need more than just money when that's the number one reason why y'all leaving us? Because you're the ones that started divorces. You're the one that's filing for divorces. And
Because
here's a
black
little
men
gossip,
don't want to
everybody.
give
I don't
up the
really
money.
gossip, I
We
do
ain't
gossip
ain't
because
finna
I'm on
hang
YouTube.
around waiting.
But one of the reasons that Megan Good, Mr. Megan Good, we ain't gonna say his name, you know I'm talking about Franklin. He left because the money was looking kind of scary. She was making the money.
Oh, black men don't want to give up the money.
She wasn't producing as much. Allegedly because she did a little, scene about to eat somebody's ass in the Harlem scene, and that was embarrassing. But this is why you can know that the money was getting low, in my opinion. And I hope you don't get mad at me. If you was making real money, she wouldn't have to do a scene like that.
But that's a him problem, though, not our her
That's a
problem.
money problem.
That's a him problem. If he has a problem with it,
He should make
feels that
money.
he can't, huh?
Why didn't he make enough money for her to say, listen, if you're making money, she would say, y'all not paying me enough to lose this lifestyle.
That's what I'm saying. That's a him problem.
No,
So that is his problem.
no, but that's him problem is a general problem for a lot of black men. Because black men can't tell you woman anything, right? Unless they can pay for the lifestyle that you want. I can't tell Nikki, stop practicing law, don't do the life coach thing because I want you to stay home. Nikki's gonna say, okay, where's home? Where is home? I want to know what home is before I quit, right? It's home in Children's Projects. It's home in Van Dyke. Where is home, right? I can't tell other people, like, you know what I need you to do? I want you to come with me to this philanthropic gala, and I want you to meet me at 8:00. And this is the lowest level, right? You know what up level person's gonna say to me? She's gonna say, how am I getting there? You want me to look nice. Where am I shopping at? Where we getting the shoes and the gown from? I'm tall. I need everything tailor-made. I need it fly. Who is designing my gown? Right? Who is doing my hair, my nails? What are we doing? Money is the only issue. Without money being cleared away, everything gets magnified. I promise you.
Damn.
Girls don't care about sex. Like, yo, you can cheat. Just don't be disrespectful about it. I'm telling you.
Okay.
It's not a real
but here's-
deal right now.
I'm telling you, but here's the thing though. I feel that again, people lean so heavily into making the money, and they feel that like some of the personal things that they need to do are going to come. Yes,
Thank you.
money matters. It's important. Resources are monumentally important when you're talking about building your life and your legacy with someone. But you do need to be able to communicate. You do need to be able to recognize when you have certain triggers and certain traumas and working through that. And I feel that some of these people focus so heavily on the money that they are also forsaking the personal work. And especially in this time when Black women, we are told all the time that we ain't shit and that we have to do all these other things, and we're leaning in and we're focusing on the work. And I think that that needs to be reciprocal. And when we start seeing some of that, we are going to be seeing some better outcomes. That's what I think. Because
By the way, I don't want to get arrested. I don't want to get arrested or sued. That is a requirement for any woman on the panel. I'm sorry. That's not the number one requirement. After intelligence and after a drive and ambition, we ask for beauty. So that is true. You caught me red-handed. Thank you very much. All right, go ahead. Don't sue me. That is the absolute truth.
So I was gonna say I agree. Okay, you're right. Like
Handpicked by Jen, by the way. These women were handpicked by Jen, so she's the pervert that likes pretty women. Thank you.
finances are important. Okay, we're not gonna act like we don't need money. Yes, my question is gonna be where is home? Okay. However, I don't like
Where's home? And
Where's home?
where's the monthly allowance? Because this is what we and I need a year in advance, because just in case you try anything stupid.
Listen. Okay, yes. Where's home? Fine. But it's almost like you're suggesting that if a person has money, nothing else matters. Like you could have 3 homes. You could tell me where my 3 homes are, but if you're not good to me, you're not nice to me, you're disrespectful toward me, the money's not going to make up for that. I'm not going to be with a man who, because he has money and thinks he's keeping me in these 3 homes and sending me to the trips and taking me here, that gives him the right to treat me any kind of way. So the money is not going to make up for bad treatment or bad character for me. Now, I guess there are women out there who would be willing to be treated any kind of way just because they're getting flued out. She ain't me. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. You work long days as a lawyer and attorney. I'm up level professional, works long days, and she does a little consulting on the side. Please go and subscribe to her. If you come home every day for 365 days in a year, and your man writes you a poem, and he prays for you,
Oh my gosh.
but the bills come.
Mm-hmm.
The bills are piling up, but he's writing you poems every day. He's praying for you at night. In the morning before you leave the house, he prays for you. Let's pray, baby.
You know what, King? I didn't say either
That's
or.
not it.
End. It's
That's
a both.
not
That's
it.
an extreme.
No, and because
Did you know the answer is no to that?
I gave him the screen because the lovely Queen Nikki gave him the screen. With there are men with all they care about, they show their money and they don't have no emotional side to them. So I'm allowed to give him the screen, right?
Is that extreme or is that real? Because that's what I see in the red pill.
I think mine is real. Mine is actually real. There's women come home to a lot of men that can't do for them. Even if the man can't do for you, you got men that's not capable. This is why a lot of men don't take women seriously. Because the same reason why y'all don't take it seriously. You say, yo, how you say you date all beautiful women and your baby mom look like that? Y'all clown us for that, right? So we look at you like, how you say you date these certain type of men when your ex was that, right? We gotta keep it real. Like we gotta keep it real with each other. Like at some point we all have to say, you know what? Like up-level professionals say, we have to get together and say we are the prize together. How can we make this happen? But we're never going to get to that point. And I say never because it's competitive out here. It's very competitive out here for women and for men. And for men, it's very competitive out here to find somebody that you align with that can take care of you financially and emotionally is very hard for a woman. And most women, if they have to choose, they're going for the man that's financial.
Okay, and so maybe this is just a result of me being a modern woman.
Right. What is that? Define that before. We need context. What is that?
I guess it's like you were raised in a Western society. You know, you weren't raised to prioritize family or marriage. You were raised to prioritize having a career and being educated and, you know, being worldly in the sense of having experiences, traveling, whatever, as opposed to being a mother and a wife and having a cookbook is in general what I get the definition as. So I guess I would qualify, right? And I think as a result of that, because to be honest, nobody was, you know, as I was growing up telling me you need to be a wife, you need to be a mother. That wasn't my experience. It was you need to go to school, you need to have a career, you need to be able to provide for yourself was the message that I got. And so when I have finding a man that can financially provide for me is actually not the first thing that I'm thinking about because I've always been able to provide for myself. So I'm not out here like the first thing I need is does he have the bag? Does he have the bag? That's not my number one priority. Now let's not get it twisted. Like I'm not going to be providing for you. Like, let's get that straight. You know, we can work it out, but I'm not looking for someone to say, you don't have to work and I will take care of everything. I actually don't even know if I would be comfortable with that, actually, to be honest, to be completely beholden to another person for all of my necessities. I don't know about that. But finding someone to take care of me is not my number one top priority, but you do need to be able to contribute and to
This is what I'm saying. It's not your number one, but it's the preferred, right? So
right.
I don't know about anybody else. I can speak for the men. I can't speak for the flowers. But me, I dated women that had more money than me. Literally. Millionaire woman that had more money than me. I'm a 6-figure type dude. And I just became 6 figures when I got out of the feds. Literally.
He got out the
Right?
feds.
Before I went to the feds, I was a millionaire, but you can't count that because it wasn't my money. You feel me? So, with that being said, any woman I've ever dated, whether they have more money or no money, they don't want to spend their money when they're with a real man.
That's true.
So, what are we talking about here? When you got a real man, and a real man, he could make less money. You can make 50, 60,000, and you can make 250. He's paying that bill, and you know what? You're gonna make sure he pays that bill. You're gonna go to the bathroom. You're gonna check the bill, and by the time he comes out, it's paid.
It depends though, because I think too, it has to be a spirit of collaboration. Now, if we're talking about dating, that's one thing. If we're talking about like building your life with somebody, that's something else. And I don't want to kind of interject a new topic in here, but I think it's really interesting. Okay.
Can you define the difference between the red pill politics and philosophy in regards to dating and in regards to commitment? And then we're going to bring up Bliss Me up here and then anything she wants to say. All right.
Well, yeah, so I mean, in dating, I think you've hit the high point. You know, dating in the red pill is pretty much like, it's competition out here. You're not the prize. Tell me what you bring to the table, but you can't mention the stuff you really bring to the table. Where's your cookbook? I don't want to hear about your degree. That's my opinion of what like dating is. And then when you kind of get on the other side, what was the other side of it, King? Hold on, you got to
committing to somebody.
There you go, commitment. I feel like what I've heard about commitment in the red pill is very odd because of the whole word simp. Right. And I hear that a lot. I hear simp, I hear beta male. And it's like sometimes when women jump through a million hoops, they might commit to them. But then it's like, I'm going to commit. I'm paying for you, but I can't be too nice to you because then I'm a simp. Like I've actually heard people say that someone's husband is a simp for doing something for them or for posting them on social media. And I'm thinking, can you be a simp and a husband? Like I guess you can, but like those instances of simping, I just don't understand. So, I mean, the politics kind of don't change when it comes to dating and then to commitment in the red pill. It's just kind of, I'm not going to be very nice to you on this side, but then I'm going to be a little bit nicer if I'm committed to you, but not too much because I don't want to be a beta male and I don't want to be a simp. Now, again, that's a very general, overarching idea. I know there's some people in there who really drilled it out, who have some very good things to say. But if we're talking general and we're talking about like what's very popular, those are the messages that I'm getting. Because, I mean, I don't know. Do y'all think Russell Wilson is a simp? I think he and Ciara are cute. I don't know, but everybody's just all up in arms.
I don't think he's a simp at all. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think he's a simp.
Before you bring Bliss Me, I want to shout out to if you didn't get it already, please go and get it. The merchandise being great. It's the new Petty. Please go and get it. Please go and get it. The shirts is out. The t-shirts out. Pardon me for the delivery was slow. It's not my fault. I'm going to a third party vendor. So it's not my fault. That's what I do. I take less money because I want less responsibility. Hello. So listen. Shout out to the only horseman standing. It's Fuzzy. It's Fuzzy. Yeah. Y'all see it, right? It's Fuzzy.
Yeah.
You got the best.
It's like getting better a little bit.
Yeah.
It's getting better now. We're gonna bring up Bliss Me.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You put all the ladies on top. And let you know, 2022, Bliss Me, we know you're cute, but 2022, you're not coming on stage unless you have your real face and stuff. 2022, we're gonna do no more avatars. The only people that get a pass on that is Truth is Never Favored and Mr. Best in the world. All right. Bless me. I mean, Darry, you have something to say because we don't want the flowers to go first, if you don't mind.
Just peace to everybody here. I got mad love for everybody here. Thank you, Bless Me, for joining us. I'm in a great mood. And God is good.
Right. Why do you always smile like that, up level professional, when he gets on the camera?
You know, you are such an
Because he's my
instigator.
friend, and I love Daryl. He's my homie. I'm glad to see him.
Listen, I just know your smile's a little different when he gets on the camera. It's a little bit different. I just want to know.
Hey, girl.
Huh? What happened? I didn't hear that. What you said? Right.
I was just saying hey to Bliss Me.
Do you notice that smile is different, Darrell?
I was smiling the whole
You
time.
could have read it.
Occasionally, man. I'm on some Red Bull tequila, so I'm on demon time tonight.
Okay, good. Because I saw a comment you put. You said she looks absolutely beautiful and gorgeous, and there was other women that look beautiful and gorgeous on the panel. So for you to single her out, I'm assuming.
I say, Glow is glowing as well.
Glow is glowing.
Yeah.
And then you said she looks exceptionally gorgeous tonight.
Well, she does.
She does.
She does.
Thank you, y'all.
We're all in agreement. Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure, man. All right, let me start playing with him. Bless me. What's up? Yo, he's so smooth. Bless me. What's up?
Beautiful ladies. Hi, Dara. I love you. You're so crazy. Thank you for bringing me up. I had a few things.
Thank you. Bless me.
Very fast. Okay, I want to say that the Red Pill community is a terrorist group and a hate group, number one. Number two, I'm going to explain really quickly why. They, at this point, I believe it started as something positive and it has now shifted into something negative. They use propaganda and manipulation. And for those of you who don't understand how powerful propaganda is, Hitler used it before he did what he did to the Jews. Propaganda started World War I. So when you have this whole big group, this community spreading a negative narrative about a particular group over and over every day, they're conditioning people to look at said group that way. I think they are very, very dangerous. That was my first thing.
You can't say that. You can't use that terror, the ding, because it's gonna flag. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was my first one.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I just learned that right now. All right.
Okay, so I try to keep it.
Well, no more Disney commercials. Thank you.
Okay. My other thing was, if black men supposedly, because I personally, I don't believe in a lot of the statistics, because I know I've never answered a census in my life.
Oh my God, I said that the other day.
You know, open the doors, whatever.
I
but
said that
if
the other day.
average salary for men is $45,000, and you want traditional women, meaning they don't work, they're not educated, you're going to provide for them. Majority of the men, based on salary statistics alone, cannot even afford to solely provide for any women. So I don't understand that either. My other thing was black women are the highest educated group in the country, right? So you want black women to compete for you, but when it comes to Asians, Indians, and whites, income-wise, black men are at the bottom. So they're not even competing with men in society. But they want black women who are more educated at this point. And an article just came out that we are like, I think there was a raise like 42% with black women entrepreneurs. There was an article on Forbes about us. I'm an entrepreneur as well. There was an article on Forbes about the black women entrepreneurs. So you want this group who's educated, successful, to compete for you. When we compare in society, you're not even competing with the men. So I just think it's a bunch of BS. I think it's a bunch of crap. I think it's a bunch of men who've been rejected in life and they can't get over it. So now they hate all the women. And I also think everyone has realized how profitable it is to drag black women. So at this point, it's just like, oh, I know I'm going to get views if I say the most outlandish thing. So let me say it. And like last week,
no such thing as a sin.
Black women,
He's acting like a
it's the Hispanic
demon
women. He's
controller.
very smart. He's not going to say white women because he don't want that smoke with white people. And even by putting the idea into the atmosphere that Hispanic women are our enemy, what are you really trying to do? Luckily, black women are not stupid and they didn't buy into that, but he's pushing a narrative to push black women and Hispanic women to go at each other over the bottom earners. Like, I don't even understand. But that was all I had to say.
Right. So I want to say one. I agree with your last point. in regards to it is profitable to drag black women. I think the only content creators that haven't dragged black women is probably me and Darrell. I'll be honest with you. Like my platform is uplift black women, Asian women,
15 years.
Latino women,
Been good
Native
friends.
American women. That's my
Got
platform. I
grateful
uplift
for
women,
change
period.
next life
And
part, so
it's I'm not saying it's profitable, but maybe I could be making more, but I choose not to. But we want to go to what Alonzo said. And Alonzo has some pushback for you. In regards to that's only compared to black men bliss. Black women hold lower degrees than white women and Asian women. And he follows up by saying, hold on, before you get on him, he also says black women tend to hold too many underwater basket weaving degrees as opposed to practical applications. With that being said, hold on, let me finish. He said, and also he says, actually, Cheryl, Latino men out earn black men. So I want to say one thing about Alonzo, and if he comes up here, he can speak for himself. But he's a man that deals with facts, right? And the fact is, the Asian woman and white women that you say that black men are not qualified for, those Asian women don't go for the men that's not doing
exactly.
They're going for the high value.
They want the money, not even high value.
They
want
for the high
that.
value men that
they
you
don't
want
no high value.
They're going for the top echelon.
A millionaire and better.
That's why I tell every time. And I say this. I'm going to say it again. Black men don't think you fly. The Asian, white, and Latino women that you be bagging, they're not even the best with where they at. They come down for you, right? Because if they were the best where they at, they'd be marrying their own kind, the top of their own kind. I said that
the other day. They told me
this is a fact.
You sure did.
One thing about black women, they're gonna marry out their race. They're gonna marry a top echelon white boy or a type echelon Asian boy. They're gonna get the top.
Even the part with the who statistics.
Most of them people that be marrying black men, unless it's the high echelon black men, they be going down because they can't get their own kind. I'm telling you, because they be thick and they don't like one person that likes these black men. I'm going over here.
I'm gonna find it.
Right? This is a fact. But I'm telling you, let's be honest now, ladies, the top black men that are being caught outside of their race, they're being caught because those women like money and prestige and power, not because they're black. That's what they like.
Thank you.
And like Darrell always says, if you got money and you doing what you need to do, you're gonna get any woman you want, unless you're not who you say you are. Period. So let's bring anybody. Bless me. I know you want to respond to Alonzo. You can.
Okay, just really quick. I was gonna say, just so we don't misunderstand, I never said I don't have the statistics, so I don't know what the degrees are in. But that wasn't my argument. My whole point was you let your women get to a point where they are more accredited than you, but you want them to compete for you. Women and men don't compete anyway, right, with each other. But the point is, if we're looking at the men and then we're comparing the same way they're comparing us to all these other races, right? The white women are masculine, feminine, whatever they're saying. So we have to look at you now. And when we look at the statistics, wait, Asian men, Indian men, and white men, and Hispanic men out-earn black men. I feel like your priorities are in the wrong place. Instead of sitting online complaining about women all day, you should be getting your bag up. Because you can't ask somebody to compete for you when you make $45K.
Okay, sorry, press mute. You want to respond to that? And this is information from the Brookings Institute. That's what he's saying. So he has some knowledge to drop. Drop the knowledge, Alonzo, because he deals with stats. Because he sells and deals with life insurance and other financial instruments. So he deals with stats.
He's still talking about I'm not arguing what the degrees are in. Again, my point is that whatever the degrees are in, the point is you let your women get to a point where they are more educated, just in numbers, percentage-wise, than you.
Fact.
Right? Number one. That's number one. Number two, if the average salary for a man, if a black man is $45,000, how are you going to tell a woman her education and her income doesn't matter when you cannot even afford, if you wanted to be the sole provider of a household? That's number two. That doesn't even make sense. I don't care about who got a degree and where. Some women got degrees in something and they working somewhere and they're contributing with them same degrees that contribute.
Yeah.
But you can't even afford to hold the household down by yourself.
Fact.
Bless me.
So
Bless
bless
me.
me.
Can I
One
want
more
to
thing.
ask her a question real quick.
One
Hey,
thing, it's
Expo,
not
that's mom. Call me
actually,
back when you get this message.
It's 42. I was gonna say she's giving us too much credit.
right.
People making
I just
42K and no shade, but I make more than double that. I'm no lie. But
Can I get some?
People making 42K can't tell me you need to compete for me because I'm a man and because Marisol can have your broke ass, okay? I think that's reality. So I don't know about that, but the whole thing don't make sense to me. That's what I'm saying. I don't get how you can earn that amount of money, how you can let the female group outwork you, you let other groups of men outwork you, because statistics prove it. They all make more money than black men. Even Hispanic men in the country make more than black men. But black men have the loudest voice right now about what women should do. No, y'all should be competing with other men and getting your money up, first of all.
Lonzo,
I can't disagree with anything she's saying.
All right, hold on, Lonzo. Before you go, bless me and you real quick. I don't disagree with nothing you saying, but if me and you can come to this one solution that'll work for black men and women, could we just drop one between us right now?
A solution?
Yes, ma'am.
The
Like
number
one.
one solution would be both genders.
Now,
I believe should stop
watch
with
this.
the speaking so negatively about the other just to get a dollar. Like I think.
Now, watch this. Now, this is what I was telling where my little boy at? Alien
Blood.
Now watch this. You on the phone, baby? I hate to go back and prove myself, but I only do that for you guys. I only do it for you guys. Because I don't want y'all people to think, I don't want y'all to watch me and say, I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not talking about always being right. I'm just saying, when it comes down to certain topics, if I'm bringing up a topic, I know what I'm talking about. Now, where you go? I'm surprised you don't hear that woo 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 that went out here.
I heard something howling. I didn't know what that was.
That one is no joke. Now listen to this. Listen to this, guys.
That's better than opening this. No, I will move because
No. You should just be relaxed.
that's the rest of
What about this?
That's fine.
This letter? Hopefully y'all can see this. That's how we're gonna finish this recording. All right, so I've seen white girls who, once they start getting attention from black guys,
And he so
It's like a
badly
status.
wants to emphasize. Look, he so badly wants to emphasize this point. Like, dude, stop it. You can't even get the woman that you just spent thousands of dollars on to see you as a badge of honor. That's when you know it's pathetic. That's when you know it's pathetic. He just spent thousands of dollars on her, by the way. If you were to go at the beginning of the video, you would see that he spent thousands of dollars on her. And they're going back to his place where she lives in with him. She said she doesn't cook or clean, so she doesn't bring anything to the table, okay? So maybe I should give the background story. She doesn't bring anything to the table. Clearly, she's not attractive. Maybe she is to him. He clearly thinks she's top of the line, but we know black men will say that because the woman is, she has white skin. But so he seems to think she's top of the line in her community. She's not. She's going to allude to the fact that she's not. And he just spent a bunch of money on her, just went out and bought her like iPhones and a bunch of clothes and whatever. They're in the car as they're driving. At some point they talk about how much money he just spent on her. She lives in the house. She says she doesn't cook or clean or do anything. She's literally just his girlfriend, where he spends money on her. Yet he can't even get her to sit in this car and tell him that he is a badge of honor. He can't, she's not even gonna tell him he's a badge of honor. But anyway.
And they really just only mess with black guys. So maybe that's what I saw. And I wasn't following them around 24 hours a day, so I don't know what they're doing all day. That may be what your friend was seeing, the same thing. She may be seeing you as the chick who was getting all the attention from any kind of guy. And I've also seen white chicks who were so very physically attractive. And when the black guys start coming around to give them attention, the white guys stop coming around. The white guys stop even trying. Now, again, I'm a black guy. I would see a white girl who's attractive, I would go talk to her.
So with that part where he gave the scenario of a black man and a man of no color, and if the black man starts talking to the woman of no color, then somehow the man of no color stop trying. So for him, he's trying to equate that as when a black man is around, a man of no color knows that he can't even compete with a black man, so he may as well not even try. In his mind, that's the scenario that he's trying to paint, and he wants her to confirm that. That's what he's trying to say. He's basically trying to confirm and get her to say that black men's presence is so important and so intimidating to men of no color that they don't even want to compete when a black man is there. So this is what he wants to get her to confirm, but she's not going to do it.
So maybe this is super confirmation bias I'm giving you here, just my lens of what I've seen. And it's a very biased lens because I'm living this experience. So those are the things that I've seen. Like a white girl who starts getting attention from black guys, white guys is like, okay, I'm not even trying.
See, you see.
That's not to say that black guys.
But you see what he's implying? He so badly wants her to say it, and he keeps reiterating, oh, the men of no color will say, well, I'm not even going to try anymore. No, they're not going to, because her stock lowered. It's not that they're not trying because you're too much competition. They don't want her because of how they view your presence. There's a difference.
And I've always drawn a lot of attention from black guys and white guys, but I've never had a white guy. I'm just saying it for the context, for the show, but I've never had those white guys stop coming around because of it. As a matter of fact, they were more interested and they were jealous and more interested and more kind of like competition. Yeah, they were more competitive. Yeah, but I don't think girls. You said you don't think
they're too good for white guys.
Too good for. We don't think.
Because you got black guys coming at you. Do you think you're too good for white guys?
No.
So if a white guy tried to talk to you at Starbucks, what would you do?
I don't think black guys paying me attention and makes me too good for the white guys. What does that even mean?
So let's say you go to a bar, right? And like five black guys come up and start trying to talk to you. Do you think a white guy, if 5 black guys come up and start talking to you, would you talk to a white guy?
Why wouldn't I?
Because the black guys are saying to you.
Yeah, but so does that mean that those women think black guys are better than white guys?
I don't know. I can't see.
Like, I don't see that. I don't understand that.
Because black guys are.
Look, so he's saying that he can't speak for those women, but then he's gonna go when she shuts everything that he's saying down. He's actually gonna start speaking for those women and implying that they do. Like, I'll just let you guys watch it.
Black guys are such a small. If you put all the men in one room, black guys is like a small part of the room.
Yes.
White guys take up most of the room.
Yeah.
So when you're being,
you keep changing the damn goalposts.
Because it's so small, it becomes kind of like more valuable to see. Because it's less.
No, I think it's an opposite. I think it's an opposite effect. Like
because it's scarcity.
If you grow up as a
she said no, there is no value. She said there's no value in even the scarcity in black men. Like, this is really embarrassing to black men. And he's dating her. You done spent a lot of money on her. And she's sitting in your car going to your home after spending your money, telling you how there's no value to your presence.
White girl?
Yes.
and you get attention from black guys,
Yes.
in my experience and all the other white girls that I know,
Mm-hmm.
we don't think that getting attention from black guys gives you a status of some sort. If you get attention from the white guys,
No, I have,
you do have the status more than if you get attention from black guys.
as a man, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with that.
Look. He said that he couldn't speak for those women. Now he's going to tell her he respectfully disagrees with her analysis as a woman of no color. And now he wants to speak for women of no color when he knows he's not one. She is one. The reason he's asking her to begin with is because she's a white woman. But now he's going to literally downplay her whiteness just because she didn't give him the response.
Well, as a woman who gets attention and who grew up in a white culture more than a black culture, I'm going to tell you that getting attention from black guys is not a badge of honor if you're white.
Okay.
And I'm white.
You are white.
Yes.
All right. This is what I'm talking about is not your.
Let's run that back. Because let's run that back.
White guys?
I don't know. I can't.
Like, I don't see that. I don't understand that.
Because black guys are such a small. If you put all the men in one room, black guys is like a small part of the room.
Yes.
White guys take up most of the room.
Yeah.
So when you're being noticed by that small group, because it's so small, it becomes kind of like more valuable to him. Because it's less.
No, I think it's an opposite. I think it's an opposite effect. Like
because of the scarcity.
If you grow up as a white girl,
yes,
and you get attention from black guys,
yes,
in my experience and all the other white girls that I know, we don't think that getting attention from black guys gives you a status of some sort. If you get attention from the white guys,
no, you
do have the status more than if you get attention from black guys.
As a man, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with that.
Well, as a woman who gets attention
yes,
and who grew up in a white culture more than a black culture,
yes,
I'm going to tell you that getting attention from black guys is not a badge of honor if you're white.
Okay.
And I'm white.
You are white.
Yes.
All right. Now, this is what I'm talking about is not your pure white. You're actually the real Caucasian. I'm talking about American white girls.
Yeah, but I've experienced the culture.
You see what he tried to do? Did y'all see how he tried to downplay her whiteness and say, well, wait, but I'm talking about American white girls, not ones like you? Listen, let me explain something to y'all. She is from the Caucasus Mountains. Okay, just like the Kardashians are from the Caucasus Mountains region of Europe, she is also from the Caucasus Mountain region of Europe. So she couldn't be whiter if she tried. She's the original white. And he's literally trying to downplay it and say, well, I'm talking about these ones. Even in America, you're not a badge of honor. And we're going to go over the study to show. So no woman of no color would be insane enough to open her mouth in this country and say that it's a badge of honor to be with to get attention from the group of men who are on the lowest of the social totem pole. He literally have the lowest social status of any living being in this country and quite possibly globally, I would say. Yet he thinks there's any group of women who's going to value the attention that she gets from him. No.
So white,
it depends on the type of female.
I'm still white.
It depends on the type of female. A female like you, I don't think you would see it as a status.
No, but I'm talking about people around me.
Yeah, people who would hang with you.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's certain types of girls who wouldn't hang with.
Yeah, but if a white girl gets attention from a white guy, that's more valuable in white culture than if she gets attention from a black guy. If she gets attention from a black guy, that doesn't make you a better anything. Like that doesn't raise you in anybody's eyes. As a matter of fact,
in some people's eyes, it does.
As a matter of fact, it's a little bit.
Look, he's so desperate. He said, in some people's eyes, which people? Can I know which people? And where are the people who, in their eyes, they are elevated socially by getting attention from black men? I would love to know this. And I will open up the phone line. So any Dusty can call in and tell me which group of women are elevated in anybody's eyes by associating with black men. I really would like to know. And he's so mad that she just knocked his ego down.
Like a oh, you know, she's basically not good enough for the white, so she's good for the black guys. That's how it's looked at in white.
I see it the opposite way, but we both got our own perspective. That's why we have this show, so we can both share our own perspective.
I've experienced that and saw that, and people have verbalized that to me many, many times. It's like, I actually was pursued by a guy who found out that black guys were paying attention to me, and he was so turned off. Like, he was so turned off. So I experienced it, you know, intimately like that.
All right, side question is not one of the points we're gonna get to the last one. Do you think?
Now, the thing of it is look, I could continue with this, but I won't. I could continue with this, but I won't do it. But this showed a
we should stop doing that.
No, okay. Thank you. Go ahead, Lonzo. My bad.
It's all good. No, I wasn't going into semantics about the degrees. Firstly, bless me. I was actually.
Boss lady. Boss lady.
Huh?
Hold on, I got something else on. Where are you coming from?
You have to get your security there. Playing to hate social stock among your own men has now plummeted.
Cynthia G still playing on the other page.
Oh, I knew. I'm like, where the hell is she? But ain't that predominantly not everything verbatim? But ain't that the same thing I was trying to explain to
Hey, yes, I wish he was here. I know he in the bushes. You can hear us. You better come out them bushes.
And they always go statistics. I'm like, no, statistics has nothing to do with what people really feel.
Coffee. I'll be right.
Yeah. People don't, statistics don't tell you how people really feel. They just check it. Maybe that's how they feeling that day. But if when I was like, with every majority of black men, and I'm not speaking upon ones that's wealthy, not the ones who got the football contract signed or the baseball contract signed, about a regular old, it could be Pookie Ray with men with no money. Anytime you see them who always say they don't like black women, look at the women that they have. Look at the women that they always get. You ain't getting the pretty white one that she's reserved for a football player or basketball player or baseball. She's reserved for a man with real money. They got them women on reserve. The ones I end up picking is them fa bitches. And then now, if a white lady says it out her mouth, what you gonna stop her and go, no, you wrong. Your people. No, I'm telling you what the people are saying. If they want to feel special, they don't feel special by their men. I mean, by us. They feel because they think they better than us. They feel special when it's their men who picks them. The same way we feel special when our men pick us. It ain't like y'all black men, I'm sorry to say, it's not like y'all so hard to resist. And let me get back to them because they almost finished too. And Pastor P, I'm going to show the full Pastor P after this go off, of course.
Recognizing you were giving more credit than was due. First of all, the average salary in America is $52K. The average salary for black men is $42K, right? When we look at the Brookings Institute study, if we look at the high net worth and the median net.
Brooklyn universe study. Okay, how many people was in that study? And how long was that study? But people came with this statistic shit. And long as I've been living, nobody never asked me no question and say, hey, they asked the people that probably went to a school, or you have people who live in the area, and then y'all gonna put it down like it's for everybody. No.
Net worth by race, because I did a debate about this. I'm number one, I'm pro blackity black, but I had to make a case for black women to divest. And there's a strong case for black women to divest. Number one is the socio.
Divest means, they got so many new terms. Divest means swirling. They make it sound like it's swirling. That's all it is for divestment. A divestment. Fuck the love, it's a divestment. No, they could have just stayed swirling, but they want to make it look cute these days. So whoever's listening, I just wanted to start pointing out some of these terms. I'm just learning these terms myself. Don't worry about it.
Economic status, right? Now, there's a couple of things that I disagree with what you said, which is outworking. You'll see many women who may out-earn their men, but they will never outwork their men.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Alonzo, shit. Some people got that working type of behavior. Shit, there's a lot of single women out here, baby, who outwork their men. That's why they ain't got no man.
Now, there are some things that are into play in terms of degrees and stuff. College is a safe bet, and right now it's actually miring people in huge amounts of almost mortgages in debt, right? Whereas here's what a lot of those red pill dudes mean when they say we don't care about your degree, because I say the same thing to my wife. You don't want to lead with the fact that that you have an MBA. You want to lead with the fact that because you have an MBA, it can open doors, right? So, for example, I work in insurance and finance and real estate, right? My wife works in the field she works in, and it opens doors because she's able to gain access. Another thing having that degree will add is supposed to be decorum, so that when I bring you to the mayor's ball, you're not wearing, an outfit that's showing too much skin or cleavage, and we have a situation similar to Jeff Bezos and Leonardo DiCaprio. That particular situation happened.
Oh no!
Now, again, it's a man's world. So at the end of the day, a lot of these guys are upset at the woman saying, we're out earning you, we're beating you, but they're doing it on their own. So what are we supposed to think that they're supposed to think? Like, guys, come on. Again, you're going to have very few men who are like myself, like King, like Daryl. I'm assuming like truth is never favored. The reason I say that is because from the short time that I've seen these gentlemen, number one, men do what they say they're going to do. Right? Huh? Every man up here has done what he said he's going to do.
Oh, every one of them.
Now we may fall short on things, and that happens. For example, my wife on a regular salary out earns me. But if, for example, if I would have sold that property 899 Fulton Street, that's a $250,000 commission, right? So college is safe because women are supposed to look for security in their men too. But men are supposed to be out there and hunting. That's why you'll see specifically with black men, we tend to go out there and do, street things. Now, we also have to look at a route when we have women who are raising our sons. And I had this situation with a young man who's 8 years old now. And he said to me, you can never hurt my feelings because of the way my mommy talks to me. Because often women are trying to make their boys tough. And you stupid MF, da-da-da. I'm sure we've all seen it, especially King, you being in New York. I know you've seen it.
No,
right?
we ain't seen
We
no
don't
shit
talk
like
to our
that.
daughters like that. We pour into our daughters. Now, there's also an issue with creating this, what I think the Glow, you were accusing yourself of being a modern woman. Men have an issue with that. right? Because we tend to raise our daughters like my wife's father. He told me, yeah, I raised my daughter to only need a man for one thing. Well, that's not really a great, aspect. But we also have to look at this. And I use this example often. Okay, so a woman, you get to look through the crack of the door. And you get to view your picture like that. Men, we don't have, it's unfair, but the world ain't fair. The men, we got to bust the door open and see the entire picture. So even conversations like this are almost pointless with you as women, because we're not supposed to be trying to correct or curtail y'all. We're supposed to be getting into our position, and then you fall into place.
Oh, God.
Twice as effective as men.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Even dude had to throw his hands up in the
It's
air.
a shame that people like, where's Red Pill? I'm like, no, I have to hook my people to what the hell is what's really going on. Even
Look, King's of Conversation threw his hands up like, oh my gosh, did he just really throw me in there?
Uh-huh.
One last example. Like I said, can I use colorful language?
And no, you're not cute or nothing. Shit.
We don't need the Disneyland. We don't need the Disney commercial.
Put his wife down, foot down.
There was, again, I don't know if I used this example, but 2 years ago, ironically enough, on my birthday,
This Pee Wee Herman looking ass.
April 18th in 2019, I
See,
sat.
now they got us turning into the church for real. We just can't sit and watch nothing on peanut butter. Motherfucker Peter Pan looking
Yes.
motherfucker.
Oh my goodness.
You ain't even goddamn cute. I was the fuck you would, my friend. Sorry.
You better be glad he got a wife.
Thank you.
Talking
I wish
about-
you would come telling me, well, that's not good enough. What is that good for? It's good for when I'm ready to leave your ass, bitch. I got something to stand on. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
His wife make more money than him, and he gonna try to make a sideways little comment.
Listen, Pee Wee, you stop it. They're like, well, y'all women, y'all want all tall men. Because we want tall sons. We want to keep the tallness going. We don't know about y'all short ones. We fuck you up ourselves. We don't want, even though we can't, but a lot we can. But we don't want to. We want.
Yeah, we trying to breed up. We not breeding down.
And then we trying to act like use y'all for props, like make it look like y'all can fight. At least we need big men. He might not can fight. You might can whip his ass, but I need for him to look like he could fight. to look like he got them skills. God damn it! Shit, say what y'all want women to look like they got. Like he said, the degree means, so when I take her out, not to mind you, he got 3 jobs.
Trying to take this woman out.
He got 3. He got 3 jobs compared to her 1. He got 3 jobs. 3. But he gonna take her out to meet these important people. Well, which one of your jobs entitles that?
Look at here, look at here.
You doing all fucked up.
You doing too
trying
many.
to convince me.
He doing so much.
Trying to convince us what? I just with your 3 jobs. And that don't mean nothing. See, that's why men say, oh, your degrees don't mean nothing. Because, bitch, you ain't got nothing. You got 3 jobs. Shut up. Of course it don't matter to you. Because you would have went and got your own. The only people who could say an degree doesn't matter is the ones who didn't go get their own. Because it's a lot of work that go into just finishing junior high school and just to finish high school. So when you finish college, if you let something like that come out of your mouth, something is not right with you, because some people got a lot of sleepless nights and stuff getting that work together and stuff like that.
Yeah, he don't. How would he know about putting the effort in if he haven't done it?
I mean, if he do got a diploma, he got 3 of them to go for them 3 jobs.
He had to get a whole bunch of skills.
Insurance broker. I heard 3. Well, let's go.
sat with a guy who was 50 years old. He lived in Detroit. He had, I guess, if you're on the East Coast, you're familiar with Don Diva magazine, but he had a magazine called Fame magazine.
No.
Okay.
We're not
This man
familiar.
decided, I told him at 50 years old with a 17-year-old daughter, he just bought a $130,000 house and a $150,000 King Ranch Ford, and he worked for Ford Motor Company. God rest the dead, that's my homeboy. But I got to call him a bitch ass nigga on this. Why?
What?
Because he decided, listen, I showed him a small life insurance policy for $100 a month. We talk about all this crypto and investing, but if you went to an architect and said, build my house, and they started from the roof, you'd fire them. Life insurance is the foundation. You dig a hole in the ground and you pour the concrete, right? So at $100 a month, nah, I don't want that life insurance. I'm cool. That seems like a waste of money. I'll put $50 a week into crypto. Fine. 2 years later, May this year, he died. His now 19-year-old daughter put out a GoFundMe for $10,000. Why? Because this bitch ass nigga decided not to get no life insurance, have this house, have this car. Now his daughter inherits the house. Oops, I mean the mortgage. Now his daughter inherits the car. Oops, I mean the car payment. Now his daughter inherits the college saving. Oops, I mean the debt for college. So now she's going to find a dude with a buy here, pay here Benz, not an actual Benz that you go to the dealership, but a buy here, pay.
Stop it. Stop.
What?
Stop it. So is these the men you told us to be nice to? Is this the same man you said we gotta be feminine for? The one who can't get life insurance, damn it.
What?
For the one who can't get life insurance, this is what you wanted us to do.
He talking about the dead for shame.
But I'm saying are these the men you say are the leaders and the providers?
He did. We can't subscribe. He
Not
can't depend on
particularly
him for
him.
nothing. He dead and gone. Why
That's
we
why I
talking
said
about
if,
him?
that's why I said if he so called himself helping them, you just fucked them all up. He ain't do shit. I told him, and he's a dumbass because it's $100 a month, and he was not going to do that. And you telling us men lead and follow men and all this other type of bullshit, and now the wife didn't force it, so now she ain't got nothing because she listened to his dumb ass.
And the daughter got all them everything.
This is the perfect reason. This is a perfect example why you should
He
not.
sound like
follow
he's
the
mad
dad.
that the daughter got everything. Talking
So-
about now she gonna. Then he said now she gonna go get her a man with a whole bunch of money to help her finish paying for her mortgage and her car note and her this and her that. Well, wait a minute. She is a child of the man that passed away. Now you don't want her to have nothing?
No, he's saying he
Because
left
she inherited it. No, listen. He's saying that like she's here's another woman that's getting something that didn't deserve it. Is that what
no,
he's
no,
making
that's
sound
not what
like?
he's saying.
Yeah,
I'm
wait till
I'm
he
rewinding
finna say
for
it.
you.
He finna say it.
I'm rewinding for you. He's basically saying that even though the daughter ended up receiving it, she received it already in debt. Like
I know.
Right. So
And
it's
then
not.
after that, And then after that, he said she gonna go get a man to help her finance all of it.
I hope she do, but I'm still gonna rewind that little part. But I'm just saying, whatever argument he was trying to put for the red pill, he just fucked that all up. Follow the man. What? You do
a minute.
Follow his ass the fuck where? I didn't hear nothing smart about this guy yet.
To call him a bitch ass nigga on this. Why? Because he decided, listen, I showed him a small life insurance policy for $100 a month. We talk about all this crypto and investing, but if you went to an architect and said, build my house, and they started from the roof, you'd fire them. Life insurance is the foundation. You dig a hole in the ground and you pour the concrete, right? So at $100 a month, nah, I don't want that life insurance. I'm cool. That seems like a waste of money. I'll put $50 a week into crypto. Fine.
That's because you're smart, but you're arrogant as hell.
Mm-hmm.
When it's so arrogant, you can sell even more.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't buy nothing from
Yeah, he couldn't
people
even
kill
sell
me.
it. Now
They
he's
wanna
saying he
be
couldn't
rich.
sell his homeboy
Right.
insurance.
They want to be rich, just like somebody, Kevin Samuels. They want to be rich, but they forgot that the money that you make off women is totally different than women buying your merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you may made your money off us and disrespecting us and calling the women out, but now you got merchandise. Your homies, women spend way more money than men. If you would have been a little bit nice to these women, look how your merchandise would have went even quicker, or your books, or whatever that you selling. That's just the purpose why I don't want women to buy the book. I just want men to buy the book. That's the dumbest shit ever. I wouldn't care who money it is. I want to be very successful.
2 years later, May this year, he died. His now 19-year-old daughter put out a GoFundMe for $10,000. Why? Because this bitch ass nigga decided not to get no life insurance, have this house, have this car. Now his daughter inherits the house. Oops, I mean the mortgage. Now his daughter inherits the car. Oops, I mean the car payment. Now his daughter inherits the college saving. Oops, I mean the debt for college. So now she's going to find a dude with a buy here, pay here Benz, not an actual Benz that you go to the dealership, but a buy here, pay here. So he paid $10,000 for a 2002 Benz with 200,000 miles on it, but she don't know the difference because it just got the logo. He claps her cheeks for $40 because she thinks he's something, and then she ends up pregnant, and we end up back in these spaces on these panels crying for 4 hours talking about she's for the streets. But her father was a bitch ass nigga, did not open the door the entire way. And this again leads to the conversation that we're having. Pardon my language.
How?
It's all love. It's
You
all
ain't
love.
told not one lie.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. We end the show.
That blew your mind?
And you know, Jen called it.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
gonna get some more people up here after we hear
Facts.
some truth.
Thank you, Alonzo. Thank you.
Miss
doubt.
Remember you're his cousin. Actually, that's the reason why you have the same last name. You're cousins, so that's family. That's why you're up here. You got the VIP pass because you're family. Hello. So we want to hear from both of them, and then we're gonna let up Joshua upstairs. And thank you, Alonzo. Alonzo is so gifted that he talked about the topic and still compelled people to go to him for life insurance at the same time. That's fucking amazing.
That's what I just said.
Give him the page, Alonzo. Give him the page
That's
so they
what
can
I
go.
said.
And this is what you really do.
It's the insurance,
Yeah, no
man.
doubt. And real quick, just so y'all know, I was out there, doing the reason I started selling life insurance, 2008, 3 days before Mother's Day, I got shot 5 times in front of my mother in the Trey 4, which is Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So I don't just talk it, I actually live it, right? But I'll go ahead and post my stuff in the back chat, and then I guess I'll drop down. Salute. Thank y'all for having me.
No, thank you. All right.
Do you know why the vast
Good.
majority of self-published books don't sell
Stop
more than
doing the
50 copies?
bullshit.
And then truth. And then we got Joshua. Yo, Joshua, where you been, man?
Hey, my son was born last month, so I've been a little bit busy.
Congratulations, brother. Yo, Joshua, you're my favorite guest. I swear. Joshua came on here and he said he spent $120 for his wedding, and it was a successful wedding. See, y'all couldn't even fathom that, and it was dope. He taught us how to get a wedding that was fire, and him and his wife decided to own property and do everything instead. And that's a real man to me. That's a real man. This is a man that y'all overlook.
But you only
because y'all
served
wanna deal with
up
freaks
there?
like me. Right, let's go, Miss Law.
Good, Josh. We talked before. You solid, baby. How you doing tonight?
Doing well. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. Good.
I guess the whole question about I think I wrote on a post about difference, or what I believe the difference between a manosphere versus red pill is. I will go and probably ask this question. Is the manosphere and red pill for Black men and women, or really just for men?
For men.
Because
let's ask the two Queen Flowers who actually are in charge of this particular show today. How would y'all answer this?
I know that there are women who consider themselves a part of the manosphere. They align, I guess, from a theory perspective with what the men are saying.
But still no ring.
I don't know. I mean,
Still
I think
no ring.
originally it was a space for men, but I think women have kind of attached themselves to that. In my opinion, some of the overboard attachment is because they are trying to find men within this community, which I think is very interesting because I really am not seeing a lot of the red pill manosphere like minded women pairing with the men. So that's kind of where I see the lack of continuity with some of what they're saying. But to your question, Joshua, I mean, I think it originated within the male space, and that women have kind of attached to it because they believe certain things that these men believe.
Okay.
Okay.
Nikki?
I agree with Up Level, and just kind of, I think the more extreme levels or range of the manosphere is probably for men. I don't think that's for women, but then the parts that say that we're here, you know, like Kevin Samuels, I think
Boss lady, she
not
still
maybe
don't
most,
have
but
an email.
Statistically
You
significant
didn't
portion
get
of
it?
his followers probably are women,
Oh,
and he alleges that
man,
he's
I
there to
found
help
myself
women, and
doing
he's
it
talking
really
specifically
good
to
that
women.
time.
So the pages that are kind of built on trying to talk to women to help women be more feminine or to help
But
women
get you,
know what men
Cody.
want, I
Hold
think
on, let me
those
pause
are parts
this.
of the manosphere that are kind of geared toward women or to invite.
Gee, man, I haven't thought I was doing it really good last.
I thought I had it. Let's see. Okay. Send.
Then Miss Rye's supposed to send her an email too, and I gave her the email, but being that all this is individualized, y'all have to do that yourself. Did Carolyn put in for her second one? Oh, yeah, she got two already. Nicole, what's your second one gonna look like, Nicole?
Girl, I took a picture and every damn thing. Where is this thing at?
All right, what you do is you gonna put a picture there, or you know what you want there.
No, I got a picture I want there, and then she gonna put she gonna make it into an avatar, and she gonna make the picture I want into an avatar. Damn, where is it?
Oh, you want two of the same ones? That is so pretty. I like that one too, with the face around the symbol for the most powerful sign on earth, right?
In your mind, in your world.
Most powerful sign on earth, planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? No, Carolyn, you gotta have two. You got the ram one. You got the one that's a ram, the ram, and they got your name on it. And then you got the other one with your name on it. And you want two of the same ones? Okay. So it's literally just Ms. Rod and Boss Lady who has to talk to her. I'm glad you guys liked it. Because I really appreciate all you guys.
Oh, compose.
So, it ain't but so much a page person could do, but I could do a little something to show my mods and my co-host. Thank you.
Okay, see.
Oh, you got two different ones? Okay.
Fighting women in.
Okay. The reason why I ask is I think it's certain topics where I would be honest, I had no reason to think about it. And then when I started listening to some of the stuff in the manosphere, I said, you know what? Those are some very interesting things. Now, I do agree with you guys. I think when it comes to the red pill, it's a little bit
email in the chat for me, please?
And that's where you get the whole
she could put it in
name
there
calling
herself.
and all that stuff.
She's
like one
a
good
mod.
example that's kind of
I
a
think
huge
she a mod.
issue, and I know
She did it before.
Everyone kind of talked about it. Is the whole issue of generally we hear the red pill is you don't date a single mom, right? I think we all heard
Leo,
that.
can you put the email again on?
Now I would go and say this though. I think there's so many times where when women hear that or single moms hear that, they shut everything down because they feel like it's a personal attack and all that stuff. And sometimes it does become a personal attack. I'm not going to act like it isn't. But I think sometimes when you actually listen to the whole thing on some people's podcasts, because I know everyone's different, they actually go explain why. And like one huge issue is the whole dad by default. I didn't even know about dad by default. You know, I had no reason to know about that. But I would be honest, if a woman makes me dad by default, I might have a few choice words myself. And I think we all could agree on that.
Right.
I think we start hearing about certain laws about, hey, a woman could put you on child support for a kid that isn't biologically yours, and all that stuff. And I think what's going on is this, and I'm going to be real honest. I think there are men now who are finally speaking out, because for the longest, men were ashamed because, you were taught, I was born in 86. So I know in the 90s and all that stuff.
You're a young man. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I know,
Damn, he was out when Ain't No Half Stepping was out.
Men run game on women and all this stuff.
And
what's going on now is that you have a whole bunch of men who are saying, hey, there are a whole lot of women who run game, and I'm telling you now, they're doing it the legal way. And I think from how it is being said, it's the extreme version. I'm talking about the red pill. Right, the manosphere is a little bit different, because I think there's some podcasts where they will go and say, "Hey, man, to be a man, you need to make sure you work hard, be assertive, work out, do certain things." And I think for the red pill, that's when it sounds like it's personal attacks, where it's like, you don't date the single mom, she's trash, she's this. If she's overweight, she's no good, and all. And I think that's where sometimes we have to make sure on that part. Another part. I will kind of go and say this. The reason why I ask you guys, is it for men or for women? Because I almost feel like it is like barbershop talk, but it's just on the internet. Because generally, men, when we talk to each other, it's very direct. We don't go and say, hey, it looks like you're gaining weight. We go and say, hey, you're fat, you need to lose weight. And I think what's going on is that sometimes with some of those, or my belief, let me go and make sure I say it. My belief is that some of the guys, when they go and make certain attacks, they're so direct. And I think sometimes certain women, they're not used to men talking like that in a direct form towards them. But that's just my belief. As I said, I don't look at every red pill. I mean, I got a life. So, you guys might have different, stories and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I find it ridiculous that men would, argue that men aren't dating single moms. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
all of us are dating. Like, your mama was dating somebody when she was single. Not your mama, Lord Joshua. But we all know that. You know what I'm saying? So I like dealing in reality. And the reality is that a lot of these guys aren't living in reality. A lot of these guys are regurgitating statements.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? We talked about this last time we spoke, did we not, Josh? I'm saying,
you're right.
And we talked about the dad by default, which is a law that's here in Michigan. I told King about that. So these policies is, you know what I'm saying, they messed up. But at the end of the day, if I see a woman who's, gorgeous and she have a child, that's not going to stop me from, chasing after her, especially in my situation where I have children. Even if that was not the case, that's like me, my preference, not yours. My preference is,
damn, this win.
As long as I'm in a position to do what I can, then, what's to lose there? I'm thinking about what's to gain there: a partner, a lover, intimacy. And if she really down for me, peace. So a lot of guys miss their blessing going on Kevin Samuels and other networks where guys saying that they don't let their men, they homies talk to women with kids. Well, we know that they homies talking to women with kids.
Yep.
And we know.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Stop playing games and start living your reality. Stop lying to women.
Yeah.
You, Bliss Me, Alonzo, we all right. You know what I'm saying? I think who's wrong is the red pill. We saw what happened with Fresh recently. He said he was doing all of this. I would never date this woman. Now your girls all on seeking arrangements. She's sending everybody news. We just broke down El Guapo. I don't want to get started on him again. 60 years old, flying women over here. She get a little pass. Now she a citizen. You don't got a girl no more. You crying. These are red pill men.
If you have a swollen
I don't want to get started on a dirty pastor. Let's be, come on.
Well,
Well, you know,
no, because Tawana is here. I don't want to get started on a dirty path. I'm gonna let her do it.
Damn.
I'm gonna let her do it.
Damn.
But come on, a lot of you guys not living that reality.
Yo, so before you go, I want to say one thing. I think the red pills is, and this is me because I don't really know the red pill, and I don't want issues, and they don't want any smoke from me. But I want to say one thing. Maybe the red pill should stop saying don't date single mothers and should start, promoting stop creating single mothers.
You're absolutely right.
Right. So it's very important that we shift the paradigm. Stop dating them. No, stop creating them. Right. And that's a different message. Right. That's a message that has a longer lasting effect or impact on our community. Right. And because I say that because some men don't prefer that. Right. But unfortunately, we can't condemn women for making a mistake or making a wrong choice. Right. So we step up to the plate. And some men won't step up to the plate, right? But regardless of the matter, I think the Minister Farrakhan said, and I'm not part of the nation, we said men have to stop being the boogeyman and stop, and then they start honoring the women that have their children. And you honor a woman that has your children by marrying. We are out here producing single mothers, and sometimes it's not on purpose. Sometimes things happen, life happens, but as soon as we become able-bodied and older, and I don't think men mature until their 40s. I didn't start maturing. A lot of times, I don't get mad at Daryl because he's young. I was worse than Daryl at his age. Believe it or not, I was worse. So he's not gonna get it until he gets to his 40s, and by then he's smart enough that he has his degrees. So by the time he gets to his 40s, everything's gonna make sense, but you don't have to go so hard anymore. Even Joshua, when Joshua says he's born 1986, I'm like, oh my God, I got shirts that's older than you. And I always wanted to say that. I don't really have shirts. I always wanted to say that. I'm 41. He was born 86. He's a man. He has a wife. He has children. He owns property. He's a man. He's committed, right? So I respect him. But even him, he's going to be even more of a man as he gets older, right? And we have to give some men grace. And women, I encourage you, it really falls back on you. I hate to say this, but it really falls back to you. I agree with your uncle, up-level professional, Kevin Samuels, who's your uncle. I agree with him because he's saying that's your problem. And anything that happens to a man, that's his problem. We have to, anything in life that I want, I have to figure it out. So he's saying if you want that, these are the things that you might have to go against. Whether he's right or wrong, you have to deal with it. But that's just what I'm saying. But go ahead. You're mute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting. And I do get it. As he also says, the world does not owe you understanding. Totally get it. But what we have to look at is the fact that some of the things that we're seeing in our society, specifically in our race, they are our problem. So I feel like as long as we're doing this, we're still not going to get anywhere. So we really have to make some very concrete plans and come up with some things that are resolution. Now, Joshua, I totally forgot about that law that you just stated. What is it, dad by default? That's terrible. So what I would love to see is these men who have this voice and who are now having their conversation on a bigger platform and their voices are amplified, instead of going after the women and talking about them and how trash single moms or moms in general, because even moms that are divorced, Kevin says have low SNV too. So instead of focusing on that, why not focus on coming together and getting some legal reform? You know what I mean? Because to me, that would be better, and that would be a better solution, because we're still not getting anywhere. And my problems and your problems are now our problems, and it's really getting to a point where we've got to do something.
Do you think policies and laws are going to really make a difference when you're dealing with issues of matters of the heart, Joshua and Ms. Long, because you've been quiet and truth? Do you think matters of the heart can be affected by policy?
I would probably say yes.
Why?
Well, I think don't we kind of make laws sometimes on how we on certain feelings and stuff? But generally, sometimes with some of these laws, I could probably say it's probably money based. I mean, if we want to talk about the civil rights movement, someone could go and say, well, it's because we felt like, a feelings based, even though we knew the inequalities of it. Like, hey, we weren't treated right. We want to be treated equally. However, someone could go and say, well, financially, there is money to be gained from it. So it's hard to say. I will go and say, I'm going to kind of sidestep real quick because I think Daryl, he said something, and it's funny because my wife kind of told me this, and I think Daryl kind of hit it. For this whole red pill community, is it really them trying to, for some of it, is it really them trying to help us out, or is it the fact that it's entertainment? Because my wife tells me this all the time. She says, hey, I've seen some of the guys who are talking about their red pill. They weren't getting any action. And she tells me, and she says, hey, I think what the problem is that they were probably losers, or they got picked on in high school. And now that they got some money and they got a microphone.
Come on with the door.
And now they're yelling and now they're screaming and now they're trying to bring down women. So I guess my question for everybody on the panel is, do you agree with that? Or do you think my wife is being, trying to bring down women?
Definitely.
We can't hear what you're saying, Truth. We can't hear what you're saying real quick. But Josh, I want to say this real quick. Don't forget that it's profitable. That's the most important thing that we're leaving out here. It's profitable to talk about Black women in these ways. It's profitable to keep people apart. Like, let's be honest, like even with Kevin Samuels, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going at him directly, but at the end of the day, he became popular off a Black woman. The woman who called in, who he told her that she's average at best. If that woman had never called in today, that day specifically, what would Kevin Samuels be? And I have no personal issues. And, to some degree, I agree with some of the things that he got to say. But when she called in, it went down like let's say a slippery slope. You know what I'm saying? I remember he called one woman a butterball. It was funny. But then at the same time, it wasn't funny. Right? Because I'm like, damn, what the fuck is you doing? You were a 2-time divorcee. Like you can't keep a woman.
Who has more failed relationships, him or El Guapo? Ooh,
Guapo, man, Guapo loser. He never. I don't know if he married.
2022, me and him all day. Tell him I said it.
Man,
anyway,
I don't want no smoke.
He don't want no smoke. But I want to say, Daryl, this is for you. This is what I don't understand. On this platform, we uplift women. And we try to give them a platform so they could be who they are, who they desire to be, who they want to be. And anytime a man comes against a woman on this platform, we let them know about themselves. So you mean to tell me, why are you not blaming on the woman? It's the woman's fault. You know why? Because why aren't the women supporting this platform? Because I look at my analytics, most men watch me, not women. When I look at my analytics, most men support me financially, not women. So I'm trying to figure out, somebody's supporting Kevin Samuels, and a lot of them are women. So maybe it's not finances, but they support him, they watch him. So, and a lot of these women call up there not because they like him, but they want to prove that they're an anomaly. They want to prove like, oh, I don't fall under your rules. And they call him, and then he says, yes, you do. Right? So once again, I'm going to blame the woman. You see, last time, Mr. Long, he pointed out certain women that weren't moving right, and people got mad because they used to him protecting women. But he showed you by protecting women are not supporting him like they should for someone that put that in the front line, on the front line. They should be supporting him, people like him even more. They should be supporting people like me even more. But y'all don't. Y'all support the guys that call y'all crazy. This is why I say Joshua, they should be with you, but they like the bad boy like me because I tell them I just want to fuck. Right? And they come to me.
Panties off.
Just like y'all do to Kevin. He tells y'all about yourselves and y'all drawn to him. But when we uplift y'all, where's the support? That means I'm not jacking anything y'all women are saying right now. I'm jacking what Nikki and the level professionals say.
That's the whole point, bro. That's the whole point.
Huh?
I said that's the whole point for real. Like, you can't be like, for me, I'm equal opportunity. Like, I don't I don't uplift
Mr. Barr,
a
what's up,
man
baby?
above another, and I don't uplift a woman above another. Like, I deal with people individualistically. The problem we have with each other is that we haven't truly identified the problem. And once we identify the problem, then we can start getting to solutions. Like they stated earlier, everybody's pointing fingers instead of let's get to a solution. Let's identify the problem and let's actually solve it. Daryl, Josh, King, all of y'all, man, y'all took all the most of the daggone points, man. Y'all was hitting on the nose, right? But for the most part, like Russell Wilson is a prime example, and where these goof troops are calling that man a simp and a beta because he actually is what's called a leader. And see, most of these guys, they keep saying they leaders, but they don't know what leadership actually is. How you gonna call a man a simp and a beta because he took on the responsibility of another man's child when that man was not going to step up and be there for that child to raise him into a responsible man? That little boy future, that's our future. So he invested in that child. He's teaching him football. He's raising him to be as his own. You can't get fault another man for being great. That's greatness right there. That shouldn't be put down. That should be championed, saluted. But yet we champion, Nick Cannons and, futures, and even, me of a lesser degree where I used to be. Like you said, King, they always come to, the crud balls. They always come to the guys that's out there running through the females, sleeping with a whole bunch of women and all these type of things. This is a reoccurring thing because good girls want street guys. They want the bad guy for some reason. They never go to the guy that, majority of the time has himself all together until they get to a certain point in life where they finish being done wrong. And now they're like, you know what? I'm going to come over here to the guy I met in high school. He was good to me and he got himself together. But now that guy in high school that has himself together, that's like Daryl, tech, everything, got bread, got himself together, got his own place, all these type of things. No, he like, look, I don't have no room for you like that now. Because when I wanted you, when we were supposed to climb together, you didn't want me for that reason. You wanted to mess with the jock that was on the football team and things like that. So it goes hand in hand. Well, we got to, another thing that we got to do is when you talk, you go back to a part about leadership, that little boy is going to grow up into a man. So how are we going to say that we leaders, but we can't start with a child and help him grow into something special? It's easier to help a child grow into something special than it is to deal with adult that's already in his own ideologies. You feel what I'm saying? Because you have to change their whole way of thinking that they've been thinking for 30 plus years. It's harder than to, groom a child and raise them upright. Y'all already know how I feel about the manosphere. They on one end of the spectrum. They on one end of the spectrum and feminism is on the other. So neither one is good or profitable. You feel what I'm saying? Both of them need to be abolished and destroyed. Once those things need to be abolished and destroyed, then we can start coming together and see what's about unity and family. And then after that, then now this is where things that, women got to understand, because the structure of way things is supposed to be ran, a lot of women don't like that. So then that's something that has to be talked about. And then we can start divvying out, where somebody supposed to be, leadership as far as monetary wise and things like that. Like Bless Me said, you can't tell a woman that she has done all this work and that her money is not good for nothing, like, and she's making more money than you. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But my rebuttal for that is, like, guys like myself, they're not saying that your money is not good enough. They're saying what matters to me about a woman is not about her money. It's about, her youth. It's about everything that she is that a man isn't. It's about everything she can help a man become. A man can't do that on his own. The only way he's going to become complete is with his wife. That's when we reach the apex of our life. That's when we reach our purpose. For them fools to say, hey, I don't need a woman and all that type of stuff, they goofies. And like Josh said, most of these guys, they never were the ones that was getting girls. You can tell, you can look at it. And finally, Fresh and Fit, when they finally came out, he actually admitted it. Go back to the video. Myron admitted it. He said, I wasn't the guy that was getting these girls until I got this money. He openly admitted it. But I got ridiculed before he even said that. I was saying this like a whole year ago, that those guys was goofy and they never got girls before. But everybody was coming at me. But then when they finally showed their face, then everybody looked like they're a fool and they run around hurt. We just need to abolish the whole thing and deal with family. And then we got to form structure.
All right, so listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all.
King, can I ask a question when you get a chance? I know Ms. Long wants to speak or has something to say, but
Go ahead, because I want everybody to speak. You want to ask the question now?
You spoke earlier and you gave some stats about how Black women are really loyal and don't date out, and the percentages of who dates out and who doesn't. And I just wanted to ask the panel and whoever in the chat, because I always think there's more going on than what we see. And so what we see is like Black men and Black women.
I appreciate you, brother.
Going back and forth, on the internet. And I believe in the divide and conquer mantra. And at the same time that Black men and Black women seem to not be getting along, I'm seeing almost what looks to be like conditioning geared at Black women to be more and more open to dating out, conditioning for white men and other men to be more and more open or attracted to Black women. Like every commercial I see, everything popping up in my social media, I don't think it's a coincidence that this is all happening at the same time. So I'm just asking to the people in the chat and the people on the panel, what do you think about that? Do you think there might be some ulterior motive going on here? Or have you guys seen like an uptick in kind of like that type of propaganda or imaging messaging towards Black women?
Well, I see this.
All commercials basically now.
Oh yeah, I see the image. It's a campaign going on, and I do see it, but it doesn't really faze us because I'm biased. I think the Black man is God, so I don't know where they're gonna go after us. To be honest with you,
I'm down for Black women all day, so I don't really be caring with like propaganda they push. It's like I'm pro-Black either way it goes.
Yeah, Daryl already said it earlier. Said it earlier. It's a monetary thing. It's a money train.
It's a money train.
Yes,
for the women, are you seeing more of your friends open to dating white men or more interracial couples where it's the Black woman with the white man now than you did maybe 10 years ago?
Can I say something? I think there's an agenda being pushed overall. I don't want to get too crazy, but I do believe that white supremacists have always been pushing an agenda to separate the Black family. And one of the ways is to encourage separation. Again, I don't want to get too extreme, but that is a way to like get rid of a race. You start to like mix it in with others. So I personally feel like it's a whole different agenda behind the imagery of showing like Black women, white men. I've been seeing it a lot, and at the same time, emasculating Black men, pushing LGBTQ in our face, and it's always like Black men, every Black show now is just everywhere. And I think it's like a collective I think it's like a collective effort and coming from like many different angles, like emasculate the Black men, push femininity on them, shame them for being aggressive and angry, even though they're not, but make all of the masculine things about them negative. And then on the other hand, put images of Black women and white men everywhere. Like I think there's a whole deep agenda. That's just what I think.
Yeah, but even with that being said, even there might be some type of nefarious plan to separate the Black man from the Black woman, or people who are part of non-dominant population. A plan only works when the target abides by that plan and strategy. We're falling for it, right? And we're falling for it because we're not happy where we're at. And when you're not happy where you're at, you go look for happiness someplace else. When you're not stable where you're at, you go look for stability someplace else. When you're not comfortable where you're at, you look for comfortability someplace else. And we are looking for that someplace else instead of finding within ourselves. Which leads me to this question, particularly to the Black woman on the panel, right? Is there any hope for Black women, all Black women, to be happy with the red pill propaganda going out? Because even if the red pill wasn't saying it and wasn't being rude, contrary to what Joshua is saying, it actually is happening. There's certain things that they're saying, they're rude about it, but it's the facts, right? Is there any hope for women, period, in America, Black women in America, brown women in America, even Asian women? I see more Asian women on online dating than I've ever seen in my life. Don't ask me why. Please don't ask me why. But I've seen it. So with that being said, like, is there any hope? Is there win-win for us? Because you're asking for us to change policies, change mindsets, shift the paradigm when the numbers don't allow us to do that.
I think
instead of just saying, hey, every woman for themselves, fuck it. You get mad, I don't care. I gotta get mine. And I think that's what happens to women eventually. Fuck this whole kumbaya stuff. I gotta get mine. Let me get mine. Then I worry about everybody else. Should we go back to that? Because that works.
Well, our reality, you can't help nobody until you get yourself together. We all know that.
Oof, go ahead. You said it nice, Truth. You said it nice. See, when I say it's not nice, but it's the same thing, Truth.
Oh, I'm trying to.
That's a red pill. A red pill would say like me, and then people that's about the realness would say like Truth, right? But we're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm saying, and your uncle Kevin Samuels, he's saying it's competitive out here. You better do everything you can to get a husband because it's not enough of us to go around.
Well, see, that's that one thing I don't see now. That's the stupid mess right there.
Right.
Like no female is supposed to go out here and get a jerk just to get married. That's stupidity.
Right.
She need to take her time. She need to be patient. I think a lot of things, if the women would be a lot more understanding of their worth and keep their legs closed, guys are straighten up a lot more because we're going. Majority of guys out here, they're doing whatever they got to do to get the woman. So naturally, if shop is closed, we want entry to that shop. We're going to do everything necessary to that shop to get into that shop. So if that shop is worth something, if that shop got gold in it, and I know I got to do A, B, and C to get the keys to it,
right?
I'm going to get that gold. So she got to understand her worth. If she understands that she's more valuable than gold and rubies and everything, and anybody is just not climbing up inside of my body, like they gotta really be that. And like Ms. Glow said, their character gotta be impeccable. Like that's one of her main things. Not saying money is not, an attribute, but she says she wants him to be an authentic man. And in order to be an authentic man and have character, you're not gonna be able to love that woman properly if you don't have character. You're gonna look at her like an object. Especially when it comes to monetary situations. Most of these guys, when their money get up, they get big-headed. And to the point where now they're like, okay, since I provide this way of living, now you're just an optional tool and I want to use you.
Right.
Not as that individual as the person that I love. Those are two different things. Now, this also plays in the part like women need to start focus on more men, like Ms. Glow is talking about, more men of integrity.
There's noise in the background. Can somebody cut that? It's noise in the background.
More men of integrity instead of this so-called quote-unquote high-value man.
Right.
Because money comes and goes. You're going to get money.
Right.
And if y'all come together, more than likely y'all can build up to that luxury status together. But first and foremost, y'all got to form a nucleus.
Can I give you a little pushback, Truth?
Go ahead.
Why does a Black woman who has worked hard in school in her profession, she doesn't want to have to wait anymore and build? She built herself. She's tired. She wants a man to come and help her and do the right things by her. They have the right for that. You don't want to build anymore. You should have your shit together. That's the new truth. But you should have your stuff together. I paid my way through school. I did everything professionally. Now
I can answer that.
They're tired.
No, I can answer that.
Right.
They are tired.
No,
Guess what?
don't answer that.
No.
hold on.
Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying.
Don't answer. I'm gonna answer. We're gonna answer it in Wanda's room. Let's go to Wanda's room, please. We're gonna continue the conversation over that. Me and you are gonna get at it in Wanda's room. We want to tell all the 70.
Well, the reason why I wanted to say it now is
but we want to go over there because we want everybody to hear our comments. We gotta make the crowd move. I'm coming with you. We're gonna answer. Me, gonna continue over there. Please.
Right, I hope it's everybody go to like 5 minutes because I gotta dip out.
Wanda Chica, please. We all gonna me and you are gonna finish the conversation with everybody on the panel on Wanda Chica's room.
Major facts.
So I'm about to end this right now. And we're going to Wanda Chica's room. WANA space Chica. And thank you to Darrell. And thank you to the two beautiful flowers that came through and held it down. Nikki and Up Level Professional. I hope one day I can see your real name on it because that's a long. Okay. Thank you, Kim.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the room. I'm out. I'll see you in Wanda Chica's room to continue the conversation. Thank you very much. This was excellent. We did our thing.
Peace. Good night, bless me.
That was a good build. And see, then the type of build I like where nobody's right and nobody's wrong. It's just basically a build. And people don't know how to build. It's like I gotta be right. No. You is right. But I'm right too. Because I'm saying what works for me. But I thought that was a good build. I'm glad y'all enjoyed. Pastor P is on, guys. So if y'all want to see Pastor P, let me know so I can go out and come back in.
I say yes.
Okay, long as you and Caroline say yes together. She said yes too. But she didn't say yes. She enjoyed it. But that was a good build. A very good build. He moving on up. And then I showed that I didn't watch the full thing, but I seen it before because that was out since like last year. The one with the boyfriend, and he thought that he was the best thing from sliced bread, and she chopped his ass down, didn't she? Come out when they was in the car. Did you see that part of Boss Lady?
Yes, dear.
And you see how he thought that he was God's gifts to earth, and she shut his ass down real quick.
Let him say all that. She let him say the whole thing.
That's how I was trying to tell. Don't let the statistics fool you. Do not let the statistics fool you. You living in a human experience, and even if that statistics was true, that's still containing how they feel, not what's going on in the real world. What do you see? Put the book down and see how many of your friends have this, see how many of your friends have that, see how many of your friends will look out for you. If you can't even pick a good friend, how you gonna pick a good man or a woman? If you complaining about all the things your friend do to you, then you need to stay out the dating area. If every time something go down, they only know you, and you do stuff and don't get nothing in return, then you need to stay out of the dating arena. Because everybody else is coming with a plan, baby. These days they ain't about love, it's about a plan. Well, I'm going out, and I'll be back in because Mr. Pastor P is on.